Hello everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. Thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Kylo Ren, and I am joined here by my super cool new friend, the luchador extraordinaire, Jetpacks and Rollerskates. What's going on, everybody? All right, I'm gonna actually take this off so you guys can see my face.
I will as well. The sweat is it's happening.
I know. My whole nose is and my eyes were like getting all fogged up. It's not actually easy to see anything in that helmet. I think maybe that's why Kylo Ren is so upset all the time.
That's why ultimately why it all ended.
Yes, Chad Rolfs is like so into this right now. I'm so excited you guys are all here. But actually, my name is VooDoo Val, and I am joined by my new friend Jetpacks and Rollerskates, or Blake, if you will. Blake, how are you doing today?
I'm not bad, Val. Things are good. It's a little rainy out here, but I can deal. I'm excited to do this though. This is awesome.
I know, this is going to be so much fun. For those of you who are maybe new to Adobe Live or have no idea what is going on, I realize we kind of opened this stream up with like a big question mark as to what we're doing. We're doing a design off today. And basically what we do is every week I've got a cool guest with me, and we play like kind of an art challenge, or we do some art, create some kind of illustration or just artistic creation based on a theme. We are going to be playing Magic Hat today, and I'm super excited. We've got kind of like would you say like a spooky edition?
It's gonna go that way.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna go that way. It's gonna go. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be playing Magic Hat today. Blake and I are gonna draw a handful of crazy, wacky words from this Stormtrooper helmet that I have. I'm sure you all are surprised that I have another Star Wars helmet. No one saw that coming. Throwing you a curveball here. But yeah, we're gonna be drawing some words out of this hat. We're going to be trying to incorporate some of them into some cool illustrations. Everyone in chat is welcome to join us if you folks want to choose some of the words that we draw, and then send us some sketches or whatever you guys decide to create. You guys can do paintings, you guys can do hand lettering for this, you guys can even do UI UX design, whatever kind of creative work you folks create. You are more than welcome to participate along with our theme, and send that to us using the hashtag on Instagram or Twitter, hashtag Adobe Live Design Off. So we hope that you folks will join us. And before we jump into everything, before we start drawing our words and figuring out what we're going to be illustrating, I'd love to pass things over to you, man, because I know some folks in chat might not be totally familiar with you. So where can we see your work online? What kind of work do you create, and what do you love to do?
So my name is Blake Stevenson. I go by Jetpacks and Rollerskates online. Long story behind the name. We can talk about that at some point if you'd like, but a lot of people ask me, and I feel like I just switch the answer up all the time. As far as what I do as an artist, I would say so traditionally, and kind of like my day job, I am a UX UI designer. And I love that world. I love just like creating strategies and worlds around that. But like kind of my alter ego is I love to illustrate, and I always have. And I love doing like craft shows. I love making posters, love working with, I guess, pop culture kind of, I don't know, icons. I'm huge into cartoons. So my art, I guess, is very stemmed in the whole like pop culture, or at least influenced by it a lot. It's a lot of people kind of coin it as like cute, but like there's a bit of a creepy vibe. Like you wouldn't want to turn your back on these cute animals or characters that I create.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that. And I think it stems from my love of like, I grew up in the 90s, love skateboarding. I love I pretty much love everything that somebody much younger than me should love normally.
I'm in the same boat though, man. I'm totally in the same boat. But I think we kind of talked briefly about cartoons like Courage the Cowardly Dog and like all those basically cute, adorable things you should never turn your back on. Which is kind
it's not Disney. It's like the Nickelodeon route.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what you come up with today, and I'm pumped to see just what is in store for me as well. So love that mug, by the way. I've got my mug here. I've got my Kylo mug with me.
See?
And a spare blaster, because sometimes you need a blaster. I've just got that sitting around on my desk because we're the same brand of nerd. I was just saying this. So I'm gonna pop over to our little dual stream here and let's draw some words. What do you say?
I am totally down.
I've got my my helmet here, so I'm gonna draw. I'll draw yours first, and I'm gonna draw 5 words for each of us, and then Blake and I are basically going to incorporate a minimum of 3 into an illustration. So you can combine all 5 if you really want to, but just in case there's like a couple of duds, you've got to use at least 3. So your first word is crystal ball.
Crystal ball.
That's a good one.
That's for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little jealous, I won't lie. Crystal ball.
All right.
Your second word is random shapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice and vague.
I know. Your third is more skulls.
Yeah. That implies that I will do
already had skulls.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 4 is bathtub.
Oh, there's a curveball.
Yeah, there it is. There's one of the ones you might just
could
be
get
like,
really could get really creepy though.
Yeah. And then your final is grave. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well,
that's a good combo. I'm a little jealous.
It's a dark spot.
Yeah. All right. And then so for me, mine are, please be good to me. I got records.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, I know. I've got coffee. I don't know, man. Let's see.
I feel like you're getting mine and I'm getting...
I think that's what's happening here. I have got dinosaurs. DNA.
That's exactly how I said it in my head.
In my head every time. I hope there's some Jurassic Park fans in the chat that know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I seem like a crazy person. All right. The next one is video games. Thank you.
Oh,
hey.
See, another good blanket theme.
Yes.
You can pretty much do whatever you want now.
And then random word placement. What does that mean?
So when I put that in, I just, because like periodically in my artwork, I'll throw in like just random typography, like splashes, like imagine the old Batman cartoons of like bam,
gotcha.
splat.
Okay. All right.
Can be overlaid. You can do whatever you want. It can be dripping all over the screen.
Okay. I think I can work with that. I think we can do, you know what, I'm going to rotate my canvas to be like a sideways postcard. I might do like a strange postcard thing. So let me rotate, and I'm going to also write my my words out okay. So that everyone can see what I got. And then we're going to go for it. And if anyone heard any words that they love so far, use them to create your own strange creation for the duration of the stream. So I'm gonna put
also can I put a call out for photos of anybody who has weird helmets or masks as well?
Absolutely. I feel like that's a given for this particular stream. So if anyone has any awesome helmets or masks, you can also tweet those to us. We will accept them.
All right, so I have the stuff up here. Oh man. Yeah, I feel like at least the words you got, you have a big like kind of video games, you can go anywhere, random word placement. You're good. I think mine, it's gonna go dark.
Yeah, you're getting spooky. But I always find a way to be spooky.
Okay.
Like I
guess that's true. Yeah.
I don't take no for an answer when it comes to spooks. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was just saying to Val, like in the past, like I love doing these kind of things, like where you can kind of almost collage many pieces together. It's just it makes for such an interesting piece. So I'm excited to see where we go with it.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting thing. I'm trying also if anyone has any ideas in the chat,
Oh yeah, please.
please post them. I love Chad Rolfs just posted something awesome. Drinking coffee equals a power up.
Okay.
And I love that. So let me see. I wonder if I could do. Hmm. You know what I might actually do? I might like illustrate a side scroller like
Okay.
game that has like power ups and items like hovering. And then the playable character that's like jumping around through the game is like a T-Rex. Kind of like that, you know, that little game that you play like if you don't have internet
Oh
and you
yeah,
go to
yeah,
Chrome and it's just like the
yeah.
little T-Rex jumping around. That could be interesting. I'm gonna do a little sketch, and see if I like that.
So this is my first time doing this. I'm just curious. So like I draw usually on my couch alone. It's very sad.
Oh no!
But how
There,
do you
there.
does the time just blow by? I imagine like it just blows by so much faster than you imagine, especially when you're trying to complete something, right?
Honestly, it I think it depends. I'm curious to know like the same thing, but just like how chat feels about it because whenever I am doing this, I sometimes look at the time and I'm like, oh, I actually have like tons of time left. Wow, I'm lucky. And then sometimes I look over and I'm like, 5 minutes? What?
Yeah.
So it
Oh
really
no.
depends. What do you guys think, chat? Do you guys like feel like these go by super fast, or do you guys feel like um, they they kind of like creep by? Doing like a.
I love how engaged the chat is too. Like it's awesome to see people like chiming in and
I know I
like
love their ideas too. Okay, got like a little. I'm trying to like invent my own like Game Boy esque kind of
oh,
thing. It's not like a any specific kind of. I'm kind of okay. This is gonna this is gonna kind of date people in the chat, because there's this thing that I had. I still have it. It still works, um, and it does kind of. It was a little bit before my time, but I still use it. Um, it's called a Sega Game Gear,
oh wow.
and it takes 6 AAA battery, no AA batteries, and I've got a
Oh.
Sonic the Hedgehog cartridge for it, and I literally booted it up the other day, and I'm kind of like going off of like that sort of design. It's just like this big clunky thing that's literally just like a glorified battery drainer kind of like it
Yeah.
doesn't do much. It doesn't play well, and if you want to drain a bunch of double A's really quick, just put them into this thing. That's basically how it goes. um but I have one, and that's kind of like the concept I'm thinking of in my head, as I'm kind of making this like rectangular whatever this is.
I say it reminds me of it's a Switch. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
But the Game Gear was the first Switch. Let's be.
Yeah, it was. And
It
then
was
the
the
PSP
chunky
was like,
guy.
I made this up. And we're like, no, you didn't.
Nah.
You did not. So like favorite games as a kid. Like
Ooh,
what is your like go to um thing that you played
that's
that you
like my.
loved?
Oh, that is like you're talking to my first love here. Oh, what is, like, I would say I'm Super Mario Brothers World, like, through and through. I love the classic, like, platformer kind of games. Even, like, more modern, I love, like, Shovel Knight.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's just one of those, like, games. It's just so reminiscent of the past, but kind of also its own new thing as well. So I just love those kind of games. There's something so nostalgic and fun about them, and I find they're just like a little bit more challenging too.
Oh yeah. That was back when, you know, you played a video game and there was no, like, you couldn't pick up a guide, really. You had to,
No.
like, try and figure out what the heck you're supposed to do, and then if you didn't get it, you'd have to find, like, some kid at school and be like, did you beat this level? How did you do it? Please tell me, because there's literally no information in the whole world about how to do this.
That's just how it was.
Uh,
Kids nowadays, am I right?
oh
We're
yeah.
sitting on our front porch now, and
You guys have
we're just
Twitch.
complaining.
You guys can watch people play games, but back when I was playing Doom,
Oh,
and I couldn't figure out how to get through any of those hallways, and my dad
oh.
was just like, "No, I'm not telling you how to beat this. You're gonna figure this out. This is a rite of passage. See if you can
I know.
you can fight evil on your own." And I was like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to take down hell single-handedly.
Yeah,
Come on.
you can't. No one's gonna help you. You're 6. You can do this." And I was like, "Ah."
I don't know. I feel like he's setting up for the future. So
Keith says your art process is pretty solid with the timing lately, Val, so the progression suits the time constraints. Okay, cool, thank you. Sometimes, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, sometimes when we do these streams, though, I'm terrified. Because I'm like, I don't know if I can finish what I decided to draw today. And then it's like, I get to choose whether I am gonna be worried about that or not. Like, if I'm gonna let that bother me,
yeah, totally.
or what's, but I would say, like, I think people kind of realize, like, whenever I do these streams, like, I actually seldomly finish something 100% when I do these, because the nature of them is so, like, on the fly and, like, boom, here we go, can you do this, you know?
Oh, I'm struggling with random shapes because I'm like, I realize I could just do any shape, but
You can. You're that one word that was drawn for you is literally a get out of jail free card.
oh yeah.
And I'm really jealous.
Which one, skulls or random shapes?
Random shapes.
I feel like
I'm
skulls
like,
is
okay,
also that.
That's fine. That's how this is gonna go today. That's okay. That's
This
all right.
is how we fill out the space, the blank space.
Like,
I no longer have to think.
Here's another square.
Done.
Can we get a heck yeah? I just finished one of my whole things this time that I have to do for this.
Amazing.
All right, I've got my little game thing set up, and I've got, like, a cartridge kind of coming out of it, and so yeah. I think random word placement is gonna go. If somebody wants to name this handheld game device, I'm gonna put the name of the device down here under the screen. So if you guys want to name it, feel free to just, like, throw names into chat. And then I also need a name for the game that has to do with, oh, no, actually, I take that back. I just figured out what I'm going to name it. It's going to be called Caffeine Carnivores, and it's about dinosaurs that love coffee.
Oh, wow. Nice. You just knocked down a bunch. I feel like you won.
Okay, caffeine. Hold on, let me write this down so I don't forget it. Caffeine. Now, the trick is, can I spell anything?
Oh, well, you're on stream, so it matters the most now.
The chat will tell me if I just failed miserably. I know my buddy Keith in chat is just chuckling to himself right now because there's a long-standing joke that I can't spell or write properly whenever I'm trying to show somebody something about art. It's just, it never happens for me.
Well, so let's see. One heck of a drawer, though, so
thank you.
It's all that matters.
Okay, caffeine, carnivores, and So I've taken care of video games, random word placement, dinosaurs, and coffee. And records, I don't really have to use records because we have to use a minimum of 3. So I think that's the jam right there. I think I've done it, and I'm going to start building shapes around this. I think I'm gonna try a new approach to like everything I have ever done in Photoshop. Try to keep things fresh, I think.
When it comes to this, I think like I feel like I just have an advantage because like my work is so obscure and weird. Like I'm just like, oh, let's just make a weird collage of things. That's about right.
Yeah, that's fine. I can just like add some shapes and I'll figure out what it is later.
Yeah. I was saying to Val before, like, I'm just like, I'll just glue it together with slime at some point and it'll just work.
It'll be fine. And I'm just like, okay, man, that sounds cool. But then, like, looking at your portfolio, I'm just like, this guy's not kidding. He's really going to glue stuff together with slime for no reason at some point. It's going to happen. Just
why not?
Watch. Yeah, you're right, though, honestly. I think that to myself a lot when I'm thinking about, like, should I make this as creepy as I want to? And then I realize, yeah, I definitely should do that. And then some weird, like, it's usually me adding, like, blood to a painting that's, like, not the color blood should be. Or, just like, wow, what a good drawing. Oh, I spoke caffeine wrong. Honestly, I'm just gonna commit. It's just gonna be there. I think to myself, like, what a really nice drawing of just a nice, pleasant-looking woman. And then about 4 seconds later, I'm like, facial scars for no reason.
Yeah.
Let's just make it look like she survived just a terrifying attack. And also she's a necromancer for no particular reason. Let's just do that. That's cool, right?
See? Necromancers are your slime.
Yes. Necromancers are definitely my slime. I agree. Okay, I'm going to change this. I think. What color should I make this thing? I'm gonna default to purple because that's my jam. But I may change the color of this, whatever it is. Let me merge these. I'm gonna convert to Smart Object, and then I'm gonna start putting shapes behind and above it.
I will say I do. I was watching one of your Photoshop streams, and your wizardry in Photoshop is unbelievable. I use programs like Fresco because I'm so limited by what I can kind of do in the thing, and I'm like, oh, I'll use those constraints to do some like weird stuff, and I'll just focus more on the illustration. But seeing how you like color in shapes and you get like the like proper painting techniques in there.
Oh, thank you,
I'm
man.
like, damn.
That's so nice. I appreciate it. I can tell you, like, when it comes to using like a lot of like Photoshop crazy stuff, I think that it usually ends up being like a lot easier than some people think, because like when I first started doing all of it, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what any of this is. It's like so overwhelming. But once you start like kind of like, I guess, pinning down all of the different things you want to start using for yourself, you get familiar with them, and then once you're familiar with those things, then they're not really like, it's not like a Photoshop feat of strength to like use them anymore, and then you learn about another thing and you're like, oh, now I'll remember this thing, and then you just kind of slowly start building up an understanding of stuff. But I think like, yeah, when you come into it at first, when I used to watch other people like work stuff out in Photoshop, I was just like, I'm never gonna figure out how to do all this cool stuff. And then eventually though, you kind of do. So if you want to do it, it's easier than you think. I believe in you, Blake.
Thank you. I used to, so I have like a Huion tablet here as well.
Nice.
And I love using it, but I think ever since these like Fresco came out, just like the ones that mimic what I was doing in my drawing pad anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I just started to like default to them because like when I am drawing, it's usually in front of the TV and I'm just kind of chilling out, and it's like, oh, let's see how far I can get. And then eventually it's like, oh, I can do like everything in this program.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt as I was sitting down and I was like, I wonder how much of my work I could actually get done from my iPad. And then like a couple hours later I was like, "Oh, all of it. Okay."
Yeah, totally.
I was very shocked. I was like, "Oh, everything. Good to know." All right, I'm going to round these corners of this shape. I think I can do this. I have in my head how I'm going to do it, and I'm hoping that it actually works the way that I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to unlock these, and I'm going to round these top corners by like 30, and then I'm going to round the bottom corners by like 100.
Yeah, sweet techniques of having Photoshop and making boxes.
Yes.
Damn it.
I'm like, I like start doing boxes and stuff like just to map things out, and then I noticed for a while I would like spend all this time like making all these crazy boxes and all these cool things, and then I would just sketch on top of them, and then one day I was like, what if I just used the boxes I made in the first place that are precise, and
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I have. And then I was like, that's a good thought, Val. Brilliant.
I feel, again, because I like default to these programs, I'm like, I guess the boxes will be cartoony and rounded and hand drawn. That's just how it is now.
That's just, yeah, that's just where we found ourselves. This is what's
happening. It works
happening.
for me.
I meant to do this. Okay, I'm gonna merge these as well. And so I have a little D-pad here, which is looking cool. And I also have, I'm gonna take my like circle ellipse and I'm gonna make some fun little buttons. Convert to Smart Object, and I'm gonna bump them around.
See, once I get into the skulls, I don't have to think anymore. Skulls are good.
You know, I feel that way when I start like drawing a face. Like once I have like the outline of, and I know like, okay, this is what I'm drawing today, like it's there, then I'm like, okay, now I can turn my brain off and draw the thing, and that's it. Okay, now I am gonna merge all this together, I think. I'm gonna actually turn that to like a gray, and I'm gonna paint it. Here we go. Convert to Smart Object. I'll create a clipping mask. Grab a brush.
What brushes are you like just obsessed with right now, or like all the are there like go-to ones that you're always using?
Yeah, I have like a bunch of brushes that I love, that Sam Peterson actually shared recently, and I downloaded a lot of the brushes that he uses.
Okay.
And they're like really nice like texture brushes that work super well for insinuating like skin texture and like fabric texture and things like that. I love those. But then I also have some brushes that I've created myself. I have like I'm using a noise brush right now that I made on my own because I could not find a noise brush that did what I wanted. I was like sick of always kind of looking for something to give like the noise vibe that I wanted for certain things, and I never could find it. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna watch some brush tutorials and I'm gonna make my own thing, and that's what I'm gonna use for this now. So that's kind of where I'm at. Do you make any brushes, or do you have like a favorite kind of brush?
I definitely have some like ones that are based off of like modified things that I've used in the past. I love a lot of the stuff from like this is just more on the side. I use a little bit of the stuff from like True Grit Texture Supply. Um, they have some really cool kind of like Photoshop and Illustrator brushes. I've used Kyle's stuff for years as well, before he was part of the Photoshop family,
Yeah.
or the Adobe family. He's always like had such a great, I guess, technique. Like the way his brushes work just seem to be very smooth. So
True Grit Texture Co. is actually like one of my go-to places for like noise textures and things these
yeah.
days. They make some really great stuff. Also, we've got some new folks in chat that I would love to welcome in. I see Martha. I see Anthony. I don't know if I greeted you yet. Alexander's here, and Alexander's asking how much time we have. We still have about 25 minutes before we have to say goodbye. I would say this is one of those days where I look down and I'm like, we have time. It's not slipping out of my grasp. We do have some time to run through things today. So, because sometimes it varies. Sometimes I realize I don't have very much time at all. So this is a good day. But yeah, we have about 25 minutes, and then what I've been doing lately, I used to for these design offs, is every day at the end of each design off day, I would go to social media and check out sketches. One thing I've noticed has been working a little bit better to give folks some extra time is I just do it on the second day. But if you guys still want to tweet your sketches and stuff, I will retweet all of them. And then tomorrow, if you guys want to have something that's more prepared, tomorrow I'm going to pull up social media during the end of the stream, and I am going to like give you guys a shout out, a little spotlight on the stream, and show off all of the awesome stuff that you folks created along with us. So I hope that some of you folks in chat are working on some designs. Like I mentioned before, it really doesn't matter what kind of art you do. If you're a hand letterer, if you're an illustrator, if you're a 3D artist, if you're a UI UX designer, like you can use some of the words that we have drawn for ourselves today, and you can use those as like a theme and interpret them however you like to create a bit of art. My words that I got today, I got random word placement, I got video games, I got dinosaurs, coffee, and records. So I'm kind of making myself like a little video game themed around carnivorous dinosaurs that love caffeine. And I'm pretty pumped about it. And then what were yours, Blake?
So I have Grave, Crystal Ball, and they're all up here. Grave, Crystal Ball, Random Shapes, the Get Out of Jail Free card, More
Nice,
Skulls, another Get Out of Jail Free card, and Bathtub, which, like, I don't know about that one.
I'm not sure if that one goes. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
but honestly, we don't have to use all of them. We just have to use out of the three things that we drew from the magic hat, from the magical stormtrooper helmet. We have to use at least 3 of them. So that is the deal.
Yeah, I love design games. They're always like or illustration games. I just find a lot of people are a little scared off by them, but it just allows you to like think on your feet and be a little weird, and those are my things. I like that.
Yeah, same. I'm all for being weirder than people expect. That's like
That's
my
fair.
like anytime anyone thinks I'm starting like a normal nice art project, I'm like, just wait.
Just wait. Hold
just
up.
wait. Hold on. Don't put your faith in me yet, because if you're not prepared for my usual, then you gotta just sit tight for a sec. All right, I've mostly got this like kind of 3D-esque and like painted up. Did anybody have an idea for like what this game system is called yet? Did anyone post any ideas in the chat? I'm gonna kind of scroll up because I need like something like Game Gear or Switch or something, but like funny.
Oh man. I like the cartridge. You still have the cartridge on the top, right?
Yeah, I do. I haven't painted the cartridge up yet, though.
I like it because it reminds me of like the original like Famicom like
Yeah,
cartridge, and I just love that aesthetic, especially with like the ones with like the Japanese letters on it and everything.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
so.
I just remember, like, anytime I see a cartridge like that, you know what I think? And this is also gonna make me sound old, but I remember back in the day where if you wanted to play a video game, you had to pull it out of the case and like blow on it.
Oh yeah.
before you put it into the game console, because sometimes it just really wouldn't work. Or I think I don't even know if it worked, but several times I like set to just like tapping it on my hand just to see,
Oh yeah.
just in case something was loose, maybe that would work. And that's like how we got the games to work.
I love that. That's like just how it worked back then. Nobody even questioned you. You remember putting it under your shirt and like blowing like what?
What are you doing?
For some reason it like just worked after.
Yeah.
Why is it working now?
Can you imagine like doing that with like a, I don't mean, I would say DVD, but I don't think people even use DVDs a lot anymore. Do they?
I'm still buying DVDs like a fool.
Yeah, me too. I just I think that people think that I'm weird now. I've said this before on stream, because it's my favorite example of like how strange I feel in the world now. I met somebody who honestly did not know what a VHS was, and I was like, ooh. And I was like, how old are you? And they were like 16, and I was like, don't talk to me.
Dude, I have like a record player in the other room, and I'm still using records like it's a new thing to me. I get very excited when I get new records.
That's awesome. I also have a record player in my house.
Yeah.
And I listen to the Bee Gees a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm a big Bee Gees fan. Like Barry Gibb sounds are life to me. Any like little like weird squeaky something that all like these sounds that he makes. You should be dancing, yeah. All that. I like Mark Myers says voodoo wear, and I'm kind of into that.
Oh, I don't know if you're an old PC gamer.
Yes.
But do you remember voodoo cards?
No, I don't remember
the voodoo graphics cards. Now I'm dating me. Come on.
Yeah, now you're dating you. Alexander tags me and just says, "Okay, boomer." This is what I'm talking about.
It's happening.
It's happening. Sam says, "You know nothing of my world."
Oh no, the boomer talk.
Oh no, we were just going over this before stream. We were just talking about this kind of behavior, chat. Brilliant BG sounds, Val. Thank you so much. I'm actually really proud of them. I don't know how they sound to other people, but in my head, like listening to my own voice, I sound just like Barry Gibbs. I should be paid for it. Like, that's how good I am. I just don't know if it comes across that way to other people listening to me. So if it's not good, please don't break my heart. Don't tell me. Just smile and nod. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, I am gonna start like sketching and like carving some stuff, I think. You ever like talk to yourself while you're drawing and you're just like everything you say you're gonna do has an upward inflection because you really don't know what you're doing?
It's all questions.
Like, am I gonna draw on it? I don't know.
I don't do it so much anymore. I think it's because I'm sitting in front of the TV, and if I was talking, then I'd get an elbow.
Okay, that makes sense.
But when I was a kid, I used to always like draw like almost like factions of people on either side of the paper, and they're like kind of like attacking each other with like arrows and stuff. And I remember I would make these sounds of being like the gun sounds that every child makes.
Yes.
And thinking back at that, I'm just like, that was a real world to me then.
That was, yeah. I'm kind of in a similar boat. Like I didn't do that, but my brother did all the
Mm,
time. Like that was how he played on paper for sure.
yeah.
And he's since like talked to me about kind of missing like playing like that, and I think he actually like recently and he's 24 now, so he recently just like he sat next to me and just looked at me, and I was like, why are you looking at me like that? And then he like pushed the paper between us and then started
Oh
drawing
no.
on it and making the noises, and I was like, yes, we're doing this.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, I'm
I
putting
have
in some
trouble with this crystal
buttons.
ball. I
This is
realize I don't need to do a crystal ball, but I realize that
you
I
want
need to
to?
commit to another one.
Yeah, I don't have to, but I want to, and that's how this is going.
Yeah, I'm stubborn.
I am coloring the buttons, and I'm slowly realizing that all of these uh, colors that I'm slowly starting to incorporate into this handheld thing are like Beetlejuice colors, and I'm
Oh
okay with
yeah,
that.
that's totally fine.
I'm
Like
like super
Beetlejuice
cool.
cartoon show.
Yeah, well, both of them. Honestly, I was a fan of both. I wanted to be Lydia Dietz so bad
Oh
when I was a kid.
yeah, I did too. She was cool. um, did did you ever like you watched the Beetlejuice cartoon show?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I I always thought it was weird with that show because they decided like to just retcon all of the like in the Beetlejuice show or the
like
movie,
everything.
very much at odds with each other, those two.
Yep,
And then in the cartoon, best friends.
yep, totally.
Um,
They were like honestly, the dynamic in that cartoon, I couldn't tell which one was the sidekick because they were
oh
kind
yeah,
of like
totally.
both in charge and both not like didn't have any idea what they were doing. And then in the
That is
show,
true.
she was just like, you're a terrible man. No one likes you." And he was like, "I know. I'm just here to be bad."
I there's something like Jock Skellington. Remember him?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then I don't know why, and I feel like a lot of my art stems from something like the animated Beetlejuice show, but the idea of the mailbox with like the mouth and the tongue coming out of it. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
remember
oh yeah.
that.
I I
um,
I used to watch I think like my go-tos like cartoons as a kid was Beetlejuice. We've already had our discussion. I think every single time I do a design off I sing the theme to X-Men
uh,
Evolution. Na 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 na. Like I love it. So I used to watch that. And what's a good one? I mean, I had a lot that I watched, but I have to like, when you decide you're gonna like reveal to everyone the things that you like, and then you can't remember like any of the titles that were like really
uh,
important. I can't remember any more than that right now, but there were a lot, and they were all impressive and good. And if I
I'm
could remember them, you'd be like, "Ooh,
I'm the king of like weird, obscure cartoons. Like one of my favorites growing up was like Eek the Cat. Remember that
never
show?
heard of that.
Wow.
Never. Don't
Around
know
the
what that
same
is."
time slot as all the Beetlejuices and all that. Um, what else? I just love weird cartoons like Gravity Falls. If you've ever watched that, oh, so good.
I've heard of Gravity Falls. I haven't
That's
actually
newer,
watched it.
newer cut.
Okay.
It's Disney, but it's like spooky Disney. I love it.
Oh. Okay.
It's Disney meets another obscure show. I'm going down this path. um, Erie, Indiana. Do you remember that?
No.
No, it's kind of like the X Files for kids or something.
That sounds awesome. Oh, I used to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
So it's pretty much Are You Afraid of the Dark, just maybe a little bit more fantastical.
Yeah, those were good. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I also watched Tales from the Crypt, but I don't think that
Oh
was
yeah,
for kids. I can't.
they did a kids show,
Yeah, they did,
but if
but
you were
I got
watching
mixed
the
up with
legit
all of
one,
them. Yeah,
okay,
I got mixed up with all of them, and then after a while, I was just like, I think I'm watching a different show than all you guys. I'm gonna scroll through chat and see what everybody is posting. Also, we probably have about 10 minutes before we got to wrap up, just as a heads up. Um,
sure.
Do you know
How you
the
how you
What a
feeling?
Cartoon series from Cartoon Network? I've never heard of that. I'm
What a
actually feeling
cartoon?
good, by the way, with this. I haven't designed like the game that's on the screen, but I've started to like really work out the handheld thing itself. Like it's pretty detailed, I think. Um, Let me see. +1 for Eek the Cat. Sam
Oh
Peterson
yeah,
remembers
that's right.
Eek the
Thank
Cat.
you, Sam.
Yeah, and Eric is here, the Pun Master, also known as the Punisher, is in the chat right now. It is kind of a lefty handheld, I think. Yeah, I think you're right. Sam Peterson coming through with the links to our Instagrams. Oh yeah.
Oh, thanks, Sam. I totally forgot to say any of that.
Oh no, you're fine.
But we're good.
Yeah. Our mods got our backs over here. All right. I am also gonna put, for no apparent reason.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. For no actual reason that I can figure out, I'm also going to be adding a like button that's like the shape of a wedge of cheese, because that's what I want. That's just what I want for this
the
console.
cheese button.
Yeah, the cheese button.
Yeah.
For extra cheese, because that's just what that's just what we do. That's what we need in our lives.
I like the color because it reminds me of like the like GameCube from back in the day.
Yes. So the GameCube is one that I never actually had. I never owned a GameCube. I had friends with GameCubes, and I never really liked it, which is weird.
No?
Yeah, I was never a fan of it. I never wanted one. I had, and I still own, and it still works, and I plugged it in recently because that's just the kind of like if you notice, there's a trend here of me like holding on to all of my own, like my old game consoles, and like still trying to use them as an adult. I've got a working Sega Dreamcast with my favorite Dreamcast game of all time, and it's a game called Murder Death Kill.
Murder Death Kill.
MDK2.
Yeah, MDK. Yeah,
yes!
yeah.
Ooh! You're like the first person I've run into in a long time that actually knows what that is.
I didn't know they made a second one.
Yeah, they did.
I'm back in the first one.
For no reason, they made a second one.
Okay.
They didn't need it, but they made it. And it's actually really, really fun. And I was always playing the Dreamcast back in the day. I was never playing the GameCube. I was never interested in it. I just wanted to play. I think Crash Bandicoot was PlayStation though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was a big Crash Bandicoot fiend back in the day as well.
That was a solid game. They just re-released it and everything too. I love video games. I don't get anywhere near enough time to play them, but like I'm the person that listens to like video game podcasts just to know what's happening in video games.
Wow.
And I probably play less than 1% of the games that I'm told about. But I just love the world of game. I just love that like world creation.
Yeah, I love I like watching people do speed runs of like games that are like totally obscure. I actually have spent a lot of time, like an inordinate amount of time, watching this guy online do speed runs of the Ratatouille game.
Like the Pixar movie?
Yeah.
But a game?
And it's like the reason why I like it is because it's like the only game that's like made based on like a movie where you literally play through every single moment of that movie. It's not just like an adaptation where they're like, yeah, this is basically like movie themed, but when you play it doesn't have anything to do with the movie. You actually are playing through the whole movie and you have to do everything. So they have like puzzles and stuff where you have to like pull the guy's hair and direct him around the kitchen and everything. And you have to like go in and save the kitchen and like put all of the food in proper places, and like you have to scurry around as a rat in the walls and like do things, and it's so like it's so in depth, and it's so like it's just a good
How
game.
old is this game?
It's old. It looks like garbage, so it's
Okay.
it doesn't look good. So I
Like
assume
back
it's
when
not.
video games look like cubes running around.
Yeah. It's
The,
not that bad. Like it does have.
the
It's just
uncanny
like the
valley.
textures
Oh, okay.
are strange. Back when they were like first getting into doing like more realistic kind of stuff with games, I would say. And so it's really weird. But I will watch this guy do like speed runs of Ratatouille for like 2 hours
That's a
at a time.
pretty deep cut.
Yeah. All right. I think we have just a few minutes before we do have to take off. Did you actually leave something in the hashtag? I don't usually pull it up on the last day or on the first day, but you know what? I will for today if you did leave something in it. And then while I'm doing that, Blake, maybe you can kind of full screen and let us check out what you did, and then tell us where the best place is to kind of find you online if people want to follow you and check out your other work.
Yeah, sure. So full screening. Did a bunch of crazy stuff here. Obviously, random shapes, some gloops, some skulls, some graves, and you can see more of this kind of stuff over on my Instagram, which is just like Jetpacks and Rollerskates. My Twitter is Blake Stevenson. I use Dribble quite a bit just because there's a good community over there, and I've been on it forever. And I'm Blake Stevenson over there as well. But yeah, I'm having a good time with this. As you can see, I glued it together with some slime and some skulls. But you can see the random shapes that I have in there. And then I've got this little grave floating on an island, obviously.
Because why not?
Yeah, there is no gravity in this world.
You are the master of this realm. It doesn't matter. What you say
That's
goes.
Right. I've always loved like graffiti, but like MC Escher style like artwork that like those, I guess, stairs that go to nowhere, the like hands that are infinity hands. And I've always like, oh, but what if it was like more, it looked like that, but it was more like a Nickelodeon cartoon show. So.
Yeah. I'm loving it, man. I think you've done a great job. I'm going to pan over real quick and show off. Alexander did do a sketch, which I will show. Let me real quick pop this up. So this is from Alexander, and this is cool. It's like a bunch of different random things kind of like thrown all together, which I love. I love this facial expression. I think it might be a video. Oh, cool. We get to see like a time lapse of like all these different things that he drew.
Oh, sweet.
So thank you so much for submitting some artwork for us to check out today. You rock, man. And we're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna finish these up and continue to work on them. So this is not the last that you have seen of both of our designs either. I'm kind of full screening mine real quick so I can just kind of like show off the little handheld that I created. And that is all the time we actually have for today. I'm surprised that today was one of those days where it didn't go by too fast and it didn't go by like too slow. I felt like it was a good day.
Yeah, I think we made good progress. Like seeing where you are and where I am, like I can totally see these things taking shape.
Yeah, I me too. I definitely feel like I got a good amount of work done. So thank you everyone for joining us. Like I said, Blake and I are going to be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time to finish our illustrations. Blake, my new buddy, thank you so much for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for wearing helmets and masks with me for no apparent reason.
I like the random. I like the weird.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We definitely bonded over like the fact that we just have weird masks and helmets in our house for no reason, and we wore them for you guys. So thank you everyone for checking us out. Thank you Sam for posting our links in the chat, and we will see you folks tomorrow. Adios everyone.